2 o'clock somewhere. No, it's 5 o'clock.
Hey everyone, I apologize that it is not showing everyone. The important thing is that you should be able to at least hear. I am recording, so if there are audio issues, I will overlay the pure audio at a later time.
It is 3 p.m. 2 p.m. 2 o'clock somewhere, isn't it? Notice a special call meeting of the mayor and council of the city of Lewisburg, Tennessee. Notice is hereby given that a special call meeting of the mayor and council of the city of Lewisburg is to be held Friday, August the 16th, 2024, not at Lewisburg City Hall. That was changed to this facility. The purpose of the special call meeting will be for considering and taking such actions as the council may deem necessary and to the public interest relative to the following items of business. A, discussion of reinstatement of Roy A. Bam Haislip to the position of city manager. Now, there's a couple other things I need to read. And there will be citizens input. Resolution, whereas the mayor and council wishes to allow the citizens of the city of Lewisburg to voice their opinions, concerns, and or comments, etc. And whereas the Lewisburg City Council holds a regular monthly meeting on the second Tuesday of each month. Now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and council of the city of Lewisburg that at 1, citizens will be allowed to address the council during citizens input, which will immediately precede my opening remarks. Citizens addressing the council must abide by the following guidelines. Name and address be given for the record. And there's a place to the side that if you speak, you need to put that down. B, give subject matter description. C, understand there will be no voting. 3, a D, 3-minute maximum to speak. We're not going to use an iron fist on that, but if 3 minutes comes, you need to be winding down your sentence. E, address council, not the audience. No personal attacks, no religious comments, no more than 3 times on the same subject. Okay. In addition, mayor and council value the opinions and concern of every citizen in our community. We are committed to hearing your voices and addressing your needs. However, due to the anticipated large turnout, we kindly request that groups with shared concern consolidate their comments by selecting a spokesman, if possible. This will allow us to officially manage the meeting and ensure that all voices are heard within an allotted time. Your cooperation will help us maintain a productive and respectful environment for all attendees. Thank you for your understanding and cooperation. And let me emphasize this. We'll stay to 5 o'clock if we have to. If people want to speak. But we respectfully request that you be civil, that you be polite, and that there's no attacks on anybody. Speak your mind, but let's do it in a respectful way. It's the best way I can see that. So, having said that, if you wish to address the council, you may come forward and state your name and your address. In And again, there's a 3-minute limit. And sign the sheet afterwards. To my left. Mr. Tillis?
Thank you, Mayor and council men and women. Allow me a moment to speak on behalf of Richard Vincent Hackley, lives at 734 Franklin Avenue. He is currently in poor health. He's residing at NHC Columbia, and I'm his power of attorney. He asked me, once he heard of this matter, to come and speak on his behalf. So I got a prepared letter from him, if I can read that. As a concerned resident of Lewisburg and a constituent of the 3rd Ward, I was deeply troubled by the abrupt dismissal of City Manager Van Haislip. His commitment to our community has been evident through his dedication, hard work, and transparency. The decision to reinstate him was a positive step in the right direction, reaffirming the best interests of Lewisburg are being prioritized. I believe in Bam's leadership and am confident that his continued service will contribute to the progress and well-being of our city. Let's move forward together, focusing on what truly matters, building a stronger and more unified Lewisburg. It's from Richard and Pat.
Rick. You already signed it. Yes, sir. Next.
Hello, everyone. My name is Brian Keith P. I live at 483 David Avenue. I'm here, I was kind of upset with how this process took place. What I've done for the community is I've volunteered to help the community, the softball field, cleaning out the dugout. I've helped several citizens here with disability problems in the community get back on their feet. That wouldn't have taken place without that. When the city's resources weren't available to help, he's reached out to people in the community to help the citizens. In my opinion, he cares for this community. I don't know what the prereqs are for the job, so I'm not going to comment on that, but you couldn't have a better person in that position. Thank y'all for having me.
Next.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I honestly didn't mean to come up here, but sometimes I can't keep my mouth shut. First of all, I want to thank each of you.
Quinn,
Oh, I am so sorry. I am Quinn Brandon Stewart, 225 Oakwood Drive. I am in Miss Michael's ward. But thank you all for the job you're doing. I know it is not an easy job. And I do want to thank Mr. Haislip for the job he's done. I have never seen this many people in the community come together this quickly in all walks of life to support somebody. Everyone has been on his side in this. I think Mr. Haislip's biggest problem is he hasn't really had the help that he has needed because people have been run off from the city. So you expect a whole lot out of one man. You expect him to do everybody else's job that's not there. That's kind of a problem, and that's made it hard for him too. I think he's done an amazing job with what he's had, but it's also a lot to expect that much out of one person. So, and I appreciate you all for doing the right thing. I appreciate Mr. Perka when he realizes things weren't what he thought they were and what he wanted them to be. I appreciate him trying to make it right. So thank you all.
Next. Anybody?
Lewisburg.
Lower the mic just a little bit.
Better.
Yeah, go ahead.
Those in front of me know me very well. Some of you in the audience do as well. But for those of you that don't know me, my name is Pam Davis. I most recently served the city of Lewisburg for over 10 years as the city recorder, as well as the executive assistant to the mayor and the city manager. I served 3 different administrations, including the current one, and 3 different city managers. My remarks are scripted due to the possibility of me becoming emotional and not being able to say what I need to say. You see, I'm very passionate about the city of Lewisburg, but more so about its wonderful employees. I will be brief, but let me begin by saying that I am not one to stir the pot nor play in the drama. I do my best to conduct myself in a professional manner and stay in my lane. However, this is a time that I feel compelled to stand up and be heard. The action taken against City Manager Bam Haislip on Tuesday night by some members of this council was an absolute travesty. It was most definitely a calculated and unjustifiable move. And as I said on Tuesday night to you, shame on you. I was so embarrassed at that point to have ever been a part of this administration. The action taken against City Manager Bam Haislip was wrong. Over the years, but especially the last couple of years, I had a front row seat and was privy to much information and conversations that I know some of you would not want shared. No worries, that is not why I'm here today. I am not here to throw anyone or two under the bus. I am here simply to show support for my former boss, but most importantly, my good friend, Bam Haislip, who I have known for over 50 years. I also wanted to express my disappointment with the council and for the vote that took place to remove Bam for no good reason on Tuesday night. Reason given, lack of direct, regular communication with council members. Communication is a two-way street. On multiple occasions, including public meetings, I witnessed Bam extending a standing open invitation to any council member or anyone for that fact that would like to come to his office at any time to discuss anything they felt compelled to. This rarely happened by those council members that are making the claim of poor communication. You know that you made a terrible mistake, and it was very wrong, or we wouldn't be here today in this room full of people. But you can make it right. If some of you could get out of your own way and your need for power and control, you would have realized what a mistake. Today you have the opportunity to make it right by admitting you were wrong and made a mistake, and by reinstating Bam Haislip to his rightful position as city manager, where he can continue to lead and do his very best to make a difference in this city and our community that we all love. I stand with Bam. Thank you.
Next. Pam, you signed it.
Good afternoon, I'm Tammy Herron. I'm the 1448 Mayburn Road in Lewisburg, Tennessee. I'm a realtor here in town, and I meet a lot of new people that are moving here. People that are wanting to come and join our small community because they love the friendliness and the love that they get when they get here. Bama is a perfect example of that. When you remove someone like that out of office for the petty reasons that he was removed, without notification, the way that it was done, it's ridiculous. And it does not represent our city or our county well for the new people that are moving in. When they see this kind of thing going on in our community, do you think they really want to be here? No. No, they don't. They don't want to be here with the pettiness that is going on. So this is my job. This is how I make my living. And I love this town. I have been here a very long time, and my husband was raised here and graduated from Bama. I know what a good man he is, and I know what he stands for. And I don't appreciate my livelihood being threatened by a few people being petty and putting their wants and needs above the community. Thank you.
I'm Jerry Henry. My address is 1578 Wade Brown Road, Lewisburg. And I did not prepare a speech and had not thought about really coming up here, but I felt compelled to because I felt that it was a travesty of what happened to Bam. I've known him since birth, he and his family. They are great people. He is a great person. I know the different jobs that he has held, that he has done remarkable with that job. But one of the things that made me come up here is because my father was a city councilman for 12 years. And as a city councilman, I can tell you, there were so many people from the different departments after my father had left from being a councilman that would tell me that my father would come and meet with them and come to check on them to see how they were doing. Do you need anything? Is there something that we can help you with or need or just any of those things? It was always positive and going to check on, but not to bully. He never went to say that or to bully any of the departments or to make them think that I'm in charge, and if you're not this or that I can get rid of you or I can let you go. So as councilmen, I think your jobs are to is for the people and to take care of your departments, to make sure that they have the needs, the things that are needed in their departments, and quit all the pettiness. You know, we're in the year of 2024, and as an African American, I couldn't help but think, was it a thing of his color? And I would hope that that was not the case, because I would hope that we are beyond that. But it was just a thought that came through my mind because we are living in such a divisive world today. But I am glad, and I hope that this is going to be corrected and that he will be reinstated, and that from here on that the people that serve the city will do their jobs and quit the pettiness. Thank you.
We can sign in for you. Oh, that's okay, we can sign in.
You can tell how compelled that I was to be here. I just had knee replacement surgery 3 weeks ago, but I had to be here for Mr. Bam.
All right.
Next.
My name is Jonathan Rivera. I live in 1431 in Columbia Highway. And I got a couple concern or question about all these things. First, I own a small business in town. Before Van even was the city manager, he was the city council. And beside Miss Patty and Bam, I never see neither of you go to my business and ask, you need something, you okay? You doing business, are you okay? Bam was the only one who do it. Even when he's the city manager, he still go by my business. He still go asking, Jonathan, you doing good? How is everything? Can we do something to get more customers or do something? I never see neither of you. Besides Miss Patty. Miss Patty always been there too. So I gotta give her the respect on that. And the other thing is how, if the guy was literally fired by the citizens, can put a proposal on his last day of the meeting. And such thing as matter like that, and he's not even here today. I mean, how we can stop this in the future? I'm being very polite, sir. Believe me, a lot of people know me here, and I'm very, very polite. So this is something that I think that the city council and you guys need to address for the future. That somebody already get fired by the citizen. This cannot be allowed. She should transfer that to the next person on the seat, and they get addressed in a different manner. Not the last meeting, and now he's not even here. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Wayne Flynn, 808 Orchard Street. My wife and I are grateful that we chose to live in Lewisburg. However, what deeply concerns me is during a typical meeting of y'all, and I appreciate the work y'all do, but how can y'all legally do what you do to cause this issue? Can you bind us that way? Can you, at the last minute, without, I believe, due notice of an action be taken on this magnitude? It just deeply concerns me. But bigger than that, I feel like y'all have betrayed us. Thank you.
My name is Cecilia Spivey. I am not from Lewisburg originally. I'm NFL. But I have lived here since 1979, living at 444 Skyline Drive. First, I've just got a few things that I want to approach. First of all, I wish we had this kind of attendance at regular council meetings, so that you could do I think the citizens need to be more proactive in finding out what's going on. Last summer, I approached the council in a representative fashion as an attorney for a committee with the county, and I was absolutely appalled at the lack of civility in the council meetings. No one addressed the mayor as Mr. Mayor. No one addressed Mr. Burns as Mr. Burns. It was, hey, Tommy. I think we need to get back to a level of more civility between everyone, not only in the community, but with this board. I think we need to approach each other with respect. The wonderful thing about America is we're all entitled to our own opinions. And my opinion doesn't have to be yours, and yours doesn't have to be mine. But we need to be civil about it. And I was absolutely berated for my observation that there was no civility on this council. I know there's a horrible lack of employees and workers. There are people who will not work, and there are people who have jobs that still don't do them. I've been there, I watched that. So I know that there is a hamstring of needing people to do their jobs. But I think there's a better way of approaching this than the way it was handled. Finally, what I have seen since this all started was an absolute reason why people will not participate in this system, in the political system. Who wants to run for election and then sit up and listen to yourselves be berated and made fun of and hated on? Now, I don't condone anyone saying anything about how anybody, but I hear that there were people making threats against y'all. That's ridiculous. Again, we all are entitled to our opinion, but this hate among our community cannot allow us to flourish, because that's going to lead us with no one willing to serve. And we need good people. When people don't step up and do and participate because they're afraid of being hated, that is entirely, it's just wrong. It's wrong. And my father served as mayor many years ago. And the phone calls, I know what you're going through, Mr. Mayor, but this is why people won't put their name in the back hat to serve. We need to get back to civility. And I'm anxious to see that come back toward us on city council meetings or county commission meetings. Thank you.
Next.
Mr. Mayor, council members, I thank you for allowing me to be here today to speak to you real quickly. I'm Mike Rippon. I live at 340 Creekside Drive. I'm just going to go ahead and rip the scab off of things here. It may not be widespread, but I'm here to say that this was nothing more than a racial issue.
Yes.
Bam, past couple meetings you've had, I've been following the notes very closely. There's nothing he did in his performance that deserved him to be relieved of his duties. I'm retired military, so I know how evaluation should work. And it is two-way, not only downstream, but upstream, both ways. When I first moved here to Lewisburg 15 years ago, I had an opportunity to bring business here to Lewisburg. But when people found out who I was married to, I was discouraged from bringing that business here. And it was mostly at the council level at that time. I sat through the process we had when Mr. Roy Dukes was relieved of his duties as superintendent of schools. Same thing. They're just, again, maybe not widespread, but there's just a few people where it's so inbred into them that they can't resist the thought of, no, this person cannot be in charge because of their race. That needs to end.
Yes, it does.
Totally.
Yes.
I'm here with this community. I don't want to see any of it because we are just members of Lewisburg and Lewisburg, Tennessee. We should strive to make this city better. I thought we were doing better, but recently we just backtracked once again. Again, I thank you for your time.
Next.
I'm Willa Gentry. My address is 605 Oak Avenue. I come to respect Mr. Bam. I had an issue. I used to go walking about 6 months ago. So I called Mr. Bam because when I was walking at the old Haislip school where you vote, there was a lot of guys that were working on their cars. And their cars had jumped the sidewalk. So I couldn't walk through the sidewalk. So I had fear. So I called Mr. Bam. And he checked in for me, so I respect him for that because he cares for my safety. Thank you.
We need to, ma'am. Thank you. Next.
I'm Curtis Johnson, 1250 Creedmoor Road, Lewisburg, Tennessee. Me, myself, I didn't have any prepared speech made because I didn't know we could even talk. But I will say this, my personal opinion, it was done wrong. But now that it's done wrong, we got a chance to make it right.
That's right.
I said one thing, when I talked to him, I said, well, something good is going to come out of this. And I honestly believe that it will.
Yes.
I honestly believe that it is happening. It's opening up some dialogue.
That's right.
It's letting us see some things that we don't want to see, but yet still it's helping us to come together as a town and as a town. So, God got his way of doing things. And you told me not to bring religion in. But he's got his way of doing things, and this could be a way to let us wake up and realize to love each other. So, that's all that's me. Mr. Perkins, you're a good man. Tommy, you're a good man. Did you make a good choice? I don't think so. But yet and still, you had your reason to do what you did. You had your reason. I don't know what your reason was. But I thank y'all for being here to even listen to us. What your decision is, I hope your decision is to get Bam back, because Bam is who he is. But that's the thing is for you to step out and give us a chance to vent. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon. My name is Jessica Limbird. I live at 802 Franklin Avenue. I'm a resident of Ward 3 in Lewisburg. And I've called Marshall County home for about 2 years. Thanks for the opportunity to address the council today. I'm really proud of my community for showing up. So thanks everybody for being here. I'm here to request that the council reconsider the decision made earlier this week to terminate Bam Haislip. I've had the chance to meet Bam and to talk with him. I participated in Leadership Marshall, and we went to the City Hall for City Government Day, and I got to see Bam in action, and then he actually invited me back a couple weeks later to have a conversation with him so I could really understand the role of city manager. What I found out is Bam does a lot for our community. They say that the leader of a wolf pack, you'll never find the leader of a wolf pack at the front of the pack. He's always the leader of a wolf pack is always at the back of the pack, making sure that nobody gets left behind. That's the leadership that I see from this race. I wasn't there when the decision was made, but I have heard that Councilman Bradford cited poor communication, hemorrhaging city funds, and the lack of adequate evaluation procedures to be the reason why he called for immediate termination. I've held administrative roles in my life, and I'm interested in what council members think of Mr. Haislip's performance, but I'm more concerned with what his direct reports, what his staff think of him. I think that they will have a better understanding of his performance as a leader, personally. Somebody already talked about, two-way streets, communication is the same way. Communication in any relationship, professional or otherwise, is the responsibility of all parties involved, so I don't think that holds much merit. And I've had the opportunity to meet with our city treasurer, Ellen Owen. Our city budget is balanced, as far as I can tell, as far as what I've been told, as a result of Bam's quality performance as city manager. In my estimation, if we need to look at additional revenue streams, we should be asking our city council why they haven't passed good policy to address our fiscal needs. I would say that the path forward is not pointing fingers or laying blame. Our next best step is to work together to do what's right for the residents of Lewisburg. And I believe what's right in this moment is to call for another vote, which I believe is happening this afternoon. And I will ask my Councilman Perka, to make a different choice in today's vote, because I stand with Bam. So I'm not quite done, sorry everybody, I don't have the time limit, but I just want to keep going because somebody else named the tension in the room, which is racial injustice. So I wanted to begin by speaking of my experience in Mr. Haislip's leadership and the reason decision was wrong. I want to express pride in my community for your civic engagement, but I also want to name that regardless of the intention, the action itself appeared to be targeted at Mr. Haislip, not because of the content of his character, but the color of his skin.
That's right.
Racial injustice plagues our nation and our community. We are not immune. I might not understand racial injustice, but I do understand injustice as a woman, as a member of the LGBTQ plus community, and here's what I know to be true. Injustice experienced by any member of our community impacts us all, whether we are aware of it or not, willing to admit it or not. We rise by lifting others, and conversely, we fail when we arrogantly or ignorantly assume we can get ahead by stepping over other people. So, my ancestors are with me when I say it is up to us, particularly white folks in the room, to heal the legacies of white violence and racism in all levels, in the ways that we think, the policies we pass, the ways we act toward each other. Reconciliation and repair take time and trust. A vote to reinstate Van Haislip cannot undo hundreds of years of harm, but it can be one step in the direction of progress and send a powerful message to all members of our community. Hate has no home here. Here's in Lewisburg, I recognize to be a small southern city where all are welcome. We're working toward inclusion and the opportunity for all to thrive, and that's the Lewisburg I want to live in. Thanks so much. Thank you.
Next.
I'm Cherie Williams, and I'm here to say what you people emotionally have done to me is awful. It cannot be undone. The only correction to be is to rehire this man, reinstate him, and send him a written letter of apology to be put in the
Ma'am? Thank you. Next.
My name is Joe Coble. I'm a lifelong resident of Lewisburg, Marshall County. First, I'll tell you guys, I appreciate the job that you do, as well as all of the folks that work for our city and our county. I know the job you go underappreciated, and I appreciate you. I was present at the meeting Tuesday night. It was, in my humble opinion, a very direct, purposeful, camouflage item agenda that was absolutely not the way our city government should be run. I would like to say first that Mr. Graham is not only, in my opinion, a good man, I consider him a dear friend, and it's completely irrelevant. Now, here's relevant. He is an asset to this town. And I want to make sure I keep the right positive tone. I love this town, this community. We have a tremendous amount of positive things going on through all of our communities. There have been walls that separate us that we have literally seen come down in the last couple of years. I want us all, I address this to the council, but it is relevant to everybody in this room. Let's find ways to be parts of solutions, not parts of problems. I also want to say, I don't know the motive behind what I consider this direct attack on me. I don't know those motives, but I do know this. Wherever those motives came from, will benefit from any voted word, any of the nasty that I'm seeing on Facebook, on what I'm doing on Facebook. All of the stuff that I'm seeing out there, and I'm hearing the grumblings and the divisive attitudes, wherever this discord came from, they're the ones that are benefiting. I suggest that we all follow Bam's lead, rise above this wrong and this mess. Cochran Cemetery Road. Thank you.
Next.
My name is Nora Alexander. My address is 104 Davis Street. All I want to say is that I've been knowing Bam Haislip for a long, long time. We went to school together. He's a very intelligent man. I don't understand everything that's taking place, but I do know that I would love to see him reinstated, and I would love to see our city grow and come together with love for one another. Thank you.
My name is Christina Robertson, and I live at 730 Franklin Avenue, Lewisburg. I've known Bam all my life. We went to school together, we graduated together. This town could not ask for a better man to do this, to do what he has done. He has helped a lot of people here in Lewisburg, and we should all be thankful that we have Bam as a city leader.
Next. Anyone else? Okay, we'll conclude that portion of the meeting with citizens input, and now the discussion is about the position of the reinstatement of Bam to the position of city manager. So, Vicki, would you like to start off? Or?
Sure. Is this thing working? Okay. Mine is scripted because I also become emotional. On Tuesday night, there were accusations about Mr. Haislip, our city manager, and I would like to address, as part of the city council, I have been in every meeting, read every minute, and these are the things that I think about the three. One, okay, evaluations. This council has discussed many times the pros and cons of formal evaluations. This council has never agreed as a whole council upon them. We have never given the city manager a command to start formal evaluations. We've never drafted or approved an evaluation tool. This body has never drafted or approved procedures or processes by which to conduct formal evaluations. We have never authorized a timeline for implementation, a date for evaluations to be completed, or a vehicle for feedback on the evaluation results. This council never gave the city manager a directive to begin formal evaluations. The next one is communication. Just like evaluations, this body has spoken many times about the pros and cons of more frequent communications. But again, we never directed the city manager to do so. We never told the city manager we wanted a formal communication, a weekly report. Let's say, due by Monday at 8 a.m. We've never done that. We have the city treasurer. We have asked him to give us a formal communication, and he does it every week. We have never given our city manager that. I have found in the 2 years that I've been on the council, our city manager to be very open in communications. He has never not returned an email from me. He has never not returned a text or a phone call. Some are call me ASAP, and some are call me when it's convenient. Because we all have different issues that are brought before us in our wards. He has never not allowed me to enter his office unannounced. He's never not put his pencil down, not pushed away from the table, and listened to my concerns. In my opinion, our city manager currently has an open door policy for all citizens and all council members. The third was the bleeding of the rec center. Now I have a real problem with this one. This body, this city council, is the one that debates the budget and the one that sets the budget. We're the one that approves the spending. So how can this rec center be bleeding and that be the city manager's fault? But let's talk about the day-to-day operations of our rec center. As everyone in this room knows, COVID wreaked havoc on the United States by shutting it down. If you read newspapers and if you watch the TV, you know how hard it has been for businesses to recover from that. How hard it's been for businesses to open back up, begin to be profitable, begin to have participation. Our rec center has recovered. Our rates have been increased to help with the revenue. Activities have been added to help in participation. Our citizens pay taxes and expect a park and recreation system. We have 12 parks scattered throughout the city for healthy choices for our citizens, for our taxpayers. And just like the National Park Service, the State Park Service, the County Park Service, and our city park and service, they are not-for-profit organizations. Now, I would like to get personal and speak directly to Mr. Haislip. I would like to apologize, excuse me, for not making my thoughts known on Tuesday night. I was frankly stunned into silence. A termination motion is not the way to handle the 3 things mentioned. We have a city councilman, Mr. Burns, who has often spoken of training. We've had many discussions, and we've always kind of disagreed because I believe training should be job specific. But in this case, I think training is demanded. This city council and the future city council needs to have conflict resolution training. As a final note, I would like to point out that our past city manager performed 3 positions. Not only did he perform the daily duties and responsibilities of city manager, he also performed the daily duties and responsibilities of a director of economic development, and he's done so for the past 9 months. He has also performed the daily activities and responsibilities of director of planning and codes, and he has done so for the past 6 months. What more can you ask one person to do?
Who would like to be next?
I can't approach the end of the night.
Ms. Burke, do you like to be?
May I turn the podium around?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Can you help him adjust that? Thank you.
Good evening. As you know, I was appointed by the city council to represent Ward 3 of Lewisburg, Tennessee. It's been an interesting ride. Let me tell you. I took the chance of facing outcry to bring information to the African American community and the Caucasian community and anyone who's interested. These are findings and the Constitution. I don't have a speech, so this is coming from me. I want to tell you, I had no way of providing this information otherwise. Fate had a big part in it. It's just unfortunate and shocking to me to have to share this with you. And it makes me hurt inside for both Bam and his sister, because this does involve her. I have lived in the Lewisburg Housing Authority at 732 Bark Street for 14 years. It hasn't been an easy ride there either. I have suffered threats, intimidation, uncalled for threats of being, I don't want to say the words that have been said to me. My dog has been shot. My dog has been poisoned. I witnessed at the Housing Authority basic acts of terrorism over a July 4th holiday, and 2 apartments were burned down. It's not an easy place to live. We have drug gangs. We have prostitution. We have every manner of inappropriate behavior. Automobiles that drive around with their subwoofers that make my house vibrate, but yet I've tolerated it and I haven't called to complain. But it's hurtful to me that people would behave like that. And it is not just the African American population, it's everybody population. They just think it's a chop zone where they can get away. A few years ago, the police were basically chased out of the Housing Authority. Things got worse. May I?
I want to know what this has to do with Bam. Thank you.
There will be no questions from the audience from this point on.
May I speak? I'm not finished. Far from it. I witnessed Bam's sister get fired from the Lewisburg Housing Authority. She's one of the sweetest ladies I know. And now I represent everyone in Ward 3. I voted this way to get to this point. I play chess. I don't play checkers. I needed a special call meeting to share this information with you. It is all on file at City Hall, and we were required to share it with the public. I invite you to go get the information. I don't have a printer big enough. The housing authorities it's a state chartered organization, it's not federal. It is a housing management, property management system that gets federal funding from the US government. And it is supposed to be used for providing housing, safe, clean housing for low-income people. I happen to be one of those people. I don't make a lot of money on it. We have 4 incomes, 2 on SSI, and my wife and I are retired. I gifted her my ability to provide her with more money with my Social Security. It's just saddening. The situation is this. Bam's sister sued the housing authority.
So?
It's all on file at the circuit court. She won a $235,000 judgment, I believe, against the housing authority. And understandably so, in an act of desperation, a check was written with federal funds to pay Bam's sister. And they have insurance, and
There will be no more interruptions.
they have insurance, and I'm hoping that they have paid back the government. When the incident with the former executive director's release from employ, there was a gag order placed on the board. I want to thank Tracy Jones Harris for leading me on this trail. And I also want to thank Liddell Smith. I went digging because 170 individual units in the housing authority are at risk of losing that federal funding with sanctions. We have to fix this as a community. If you think for a minute that I don't have your best interests at heart, this is hard for me. I had terrible anxiety in the last few days, but you know, I'm calm. Because I received that calmness from my Creator. There's a saying that's attributed to Edmund Burke, but it really isn't. For evil to triumph over good, all it has to take is for good men to do nothing. This hurts me. It really hurts me that I have to share this with you. I can tell you what my decision's going to be. I don't want any more hurt. And, you know, with 2 members of the family being fired, that's horrible. And it's just indeed horrible. I've been fired before. I know how it feels. I've also been fired by some pretty corrupt businesses because I do try to seek the truth. Thank you very much.
Councilman Burns, you or Councilman Parsons.
I've thought about this long and hard since Tuesday night. I've met with a lot of people. I've met with a lot of people who called me at night and were rude. I hope I never hear from them again. People on social media, the things they put, try to divide everybody. I think that's, that needs to stop too. But I'm gonna look at this and review this. At the time, I thought I made the right decision. Mayor, well, I can't speak, but can you clear the road?
Hey, go on. Hey, everybody, please, listen, okay? It might be hard, but listen. Go ahead, Councilman.
And, I thought the city manager had some deficiencies, so we've talked about some. We talked to me about some. Did the council handle it right? Probably could have been handled better. And I went to, about this race. I don't even want to address the race deal because I think I've talked to Bam.
And you speak.
I've talked to Bam before. Maybe 2 years ago, Bam. I think I said, I don't care if white, black, green, or purple. We're not going to let that get into this. You remember me saying that? Yeah, okay. However I said it, but, people need to quit talking about it and work together. But I went by a couple of businessmen and one of them's in August. You know who it is?
Please let the man speak without interruption.
I come in here, with open mind, maybe change my mind, but if y'all don't let me speak, what's the use? Bam's even asked you to tone it down a minute. But a local businessman, I asked him, I said, could I make a better decision? Help me to understand, guide me, and if we didn't, show me some different thinking. And they did. And then another gentleman come in, I'll just say a black gentleman. He sat down with us. And the business owner invited him to continue with the conversation. And I asked him the same question. How could we have done better? What's the best way we could improve? And he told me, and I listened to him. And I listened to the people that can call and talk to me that's positive, or can tell me a solution. Everybody can call out a problem, but if you ever want to talk to me, tell me a solution when you ask me a problem. If we've done something that's not good, tell us a solution. And for the rude people who call me, I don't know what to say, but I know one thing. If Bams wants to improve his shortfalls, if I want to improve mine, I'm willing to work with him.
Again, let's be quiet.
And thank to the business owners and the people that were positive and gave us solutions. not problem solutions. Now I urge everybody to work together. Man, woman, child, crippled, it don't matter. Talk about one person, one people. You know, because we're all not that different. I don't think, at the end of the day. So that's all I got to say for now.
Thank you. Okay. Councilwoman. Parsons, I'm sorry.
Mayor, first of all, I thank every one of y'all for coming out today, voicing your opinions. We hear you. Some may agree, some may not agree, but we hear you, and we always should have the right to come and talk to any of your council people. Just like when I go in to talk to BAM, I go by and pick up my packet, I go by and speak to everybody in that office. And I say, is there anything you need, anything we can do? And BAM will say, have a seat. And I'll say, he said, do you have anything on your mind? I said, I'm good, BAM. I think let the head of departments run their head of departments. If there's problems, then call the city manager, then he should convey to us what's going on. It should be kept simple. We don't need to micromanage nobody. And I think that paid for performance evaluation should be put in place, but we failed as a council to do that. We could have called him task and had him come down and help with it, but we failed that portion of it too. So all the blame don't go on anybody. I'm taking blame for my part of not doing that part. And I think BAM has done a good job. I think he's learned a lot the time he has served, but it's all a learning curve for everybody. When you take on a new position, it takes time to learn. So I hope everybody has patience and love and understanding. That's all I have to say.
Any other comments? I will say that I appreciate you coming. I appreciate you. I know it's an emotional issue and it's difficult sometimes to not say or react. But I appreciate you listening to that. Having said that, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So
Parsons already said. Motion, is there a second? Councilman Parker, do you second the motion?
Yes. I would like to make a motion to restore.
No, we can't do that this way. It has to be
Right, I'm so sorry. I make a motion to
adjourn. Second to adjourn.
adjourn. I'll second the motion to adjourn, yeah.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. We stand adjourned. Thank you. 5 o'clock, we will reconvene.
We'll be back live at 5 p.m. for the second part.
I know, I didn't interrupt.